morning. It's a bright one. It's just about frosty. Had a little rain as well in the nights to keep things sticky. And today I am doing seed boxing. So what we do, we have these crates dedicated for the seed because we don't want any sort of cross-contamination. So I'm going to lay these out. I'm doing it in the shed mainly because it's a bit sticky outside. So I'll wedge them in here and then rehandle them with the little fork trucks. You may be thinking, why aren't you putting them in chitting crates? Why are you putting them in a big box? Well, there's two schools of thought. Some people do, some people don't. These are marquee. Frankly, we get on quite well just cold storing them, take them out to store for a few days and then plant. So we also use these chitting crates, which are basically a modern, easy to handle version of the old wooden crate things, what you see in pubs now, or farm shops for putting veg in. And the beauty of these, apart from the fact you can put it in a box rotator, much like Emily was doing the other day, and spizzling it over, the potatoes or the tubers are always within, there's never more than a 3-inch gap anywhere on it. So as long as you put it in a bright place, the seed's very near the sun. So, you know, for doing all the things you'd do in a chitting crate. So I forgot to film it while it's a bit brighter. So basically just lay them all out in a row and use the telehandlers to just keep shuffling it down. And what, 2.5 crates per bag? Just keep working your ways down. But you can see inside now, it's basically just a load of concertinaed mesh, and these are only made at, I think, Coningsby, fairly local. Yeah. Another great thing with chitting them like this is you get less stems per tuber. And the other great win is, as when the plant's maturing, it's so far more ahead. So it brings the harvesting window down about a week to 10 days, which is really good, especially on a variety like these, which don't want to senesce too well naturally. You can manipulate your end game, but it all gets very scientific, and frankly, I'm still learning. You don't stop learning. That is why I like growing them, because every year is a challenge, and it just keeps me infused. So before these go into store, before they get cold, I do a tuber count, and then that way I can budget on how far they're going to go. So if I do need to order a bit more seed, I can, or flip side, I make sure I've got not too much, because it's hard to get rid of some years if you have got a bit of surplus. So what we're looking for in seed, well, don't actually know. But, no. Well, like anybody else, you want a nice round product. So these have been quite hard graded because they're so uniform. You probably see there's like little ball bearings. Really quite clean. There's not a lot of clinging soil. I've not washed them up to see skin-borne diseases yet. But these will plant or go through the plants really consistently because of that consistency in the sample. There's not a lot of rots. I have found one. You shouldn't really see any. So what that is there. It's a bit black. And that's just a bit of a. This has just been wet and dried, but there's nothing to worry about. And there's a lot that goes into growing seed for the isolation and the aphids and a virus-free crop. So much more everybody takes for granted. These seed growers now, if they're a good one, you need to hold on to them. But this is nice stuff. I'm not going to tell you where it's coming from because it's my little secret. Remember to tear all last year's labels off. Those things can get very confusing. Alright then, so why are you putting them in these boxes? Why are you taking them out of the bags anyway? You just make them work, surely? Well, if you leave them in the bag, it's like a big sausage on its end, like a big toilet roll. And in the middle, the core of the bag will chit. And And we don't want chits, because if you break chits off, you're basically losing battery power. These sort of things are basically batteries of new life, so you don't want to waste any energy. So for breaking chits off, you waste energy. So we put them in these boxes, and then you may have seen we've got lots of slats, and that's because they're going in. Well, cold stores for seed tend to be quite passive, so just lets the cold in, keeps them better. It's a bit like having a bit of space in your fridge. It just lets the cold air get around the crop, keeps it more consistent. So when the seeds in these big bags, there's 1.2, maybe 1.25 ton in these. So the core, it just tends to get a bit warmer than the outside. Yeah, it's a good practice to get them out of these as quick as you can. And these bags roughly cost £10 each just for the packaging, and it's merely a form of getting them off the seed farm onto the lorry and onto the next farm. So just a transportation tool. Seed comes in large, medium, small, and we'll separate and budget on how far they'll go accordingly. Just lift it so it doesn't quite spill over the top. Like that. So what I have here is the grower label, and that's the ID, and each grower has, if you can get it off, there we go. So it's got the variety, stock number, grower ID, because everything has to be obviously accountable now. Size 35, 55, oh yeah, 1.25 ton. Sealed in November, December. Grade E, and that's a whole new, the grading system is a whole kettle of fish, which is probably a video on its own. Now, shameless plug, Emily Lamb's been over this week and filmed me doing a bit and stuff, and I've filmed her doing a bit of stuff. If you've not seen it, I'll put a link in the description. Check it out.